In this video, you will learn how to use the Dimension tool to place accurate dimensions on sketch features in Fusion 360. The Dimension tool lets you add specific values to lines, arcs, points, or angular features to your sketch geometry, meaning you can create more accurate, robust, and parametric sketch profiles. In this example, the constraints have been placed, and as the sketch profile is still blue, we know this is unconstrained, meaning we are free to move certain features in space. As a best practice, you want to fully constrain your sketch profiles, and we can use a Dimension tool to achieve this. To access the Dimension tool, on the toolbar, click on the Dimension button or press the shortcut D on your keyboard. As mentioned, you can click on points, lines, or arcs, although before you start placing dimensions, it is often best practice to first dimension key or critical features, then go from there. In this example, the center construction line plays a pivotal role in the profile, so go ahead and left click on the line whilst the Dimension tool is active. Fusion 360 is now asking you to either select additional sketch geometry, meaning you can reference either one or two types of geometry, or a location for the dimension. In this case, drag out to the canvas and left click to place, as we want to dimension this line only. You can now either press enter on your keyboard to accept this value, or you can define a specific value, so go ahead and enter a more rounded value and press enter. You can see the construction line was updated to match the value entered, and the dimension placed on the canvas. This particular sketch feature is now fully constrained, and we cannot drag the endpoints or move the line in space, which is what you are aiming to achieve for all geometry in your design. As a note, these dimensions are not permanent, as is the nature with parametric design. You can always edit these values at any time by double-clicking on the dimension to open the dimension dialog box, then entering a new value. Before we proceed, just take note of the sketch icon in the browser. Now, with the Dimension tool, go ahead and click the upper arc and enter another value. After you press enter, you can see the sketch has turned black, indicating it is fully constrained, meaning you cannot freely drag any of the features in space. Also, if you look back at the sketch icon in the browser, you will see we now have this red lock symbol, also confirming the sketch is fully constrained. With this fully constrained sketch, you now have more control over the size and shape, and downstream complications are significantly minimized. As an added note, don't forget to utilize the sketch palette if you find the profile becoming too busy. You can always hide the constraints or dimensions by simply unchecking them. Finally, you are not limited to dimensioning just individual arcs or lines. Other ways you can use a Dimension tool include a line to a line, a point to a line, or angular dimensions, for example. This gives you more flexibility when deciding on how best to place your dimensions, so that critical features are first locked in place, with subsequent less critical features dimensioned at a later time. Now you know how to use the Dimension tool to produce a more refined and robust sketch profile in a parametric design in Fusion 360. Thanks for watching.